I'm back to give you guys a live collective reading, and today we are answering what is wrong with you, collective, and how can we fix it? No. so, um, and I love, shout out to all of the readers in the world, but on YouTube, y'all be consistent, be going live and posting videos and everything. It is not easy, especially when life be life and me personally, energy wise, and I love to sleep. I just love to sleep. I prefer to sleep. I'm sleepy right now, so this is going to be a quick reading because I want to know what's wrong with us. I keep saying us, but I'm like, no, there's nothing wrong with me. But no, Um, again, shout out to the readers, but I think we can affirm ourselves a little bit too much in like a way where it's like sometimes it do be us. If you don't have friends to tell you like, "Ooh, girl," "Ooh, ooh, child," "Ooh, ooh, boy," maybe you should have said that to them. Or again, if you were here last night in a reading or seen my previous reading, just talking about being kind to one another, and I think we can get caught up in like being unkind when we feel like the person that we're being unkind to deserves it. And so let's get this reading started. It's going to be a quick reading because I want to get in my bed, baby. So let's bless this energy from negativity. I don't know who's been sending attacks. My neck and my back hurt, baby. So let's protect our energy, my energy, from all of that. Send back to sender. I'm just out here delivering messages, baby. I am just a vessel. I am just a vessel. I'm a lovely vessel. Take that up with the Lord, okay? But I bless the energy of this reading, and I protect the energy of this reading. I create a sacred space for truth to come out. And with that being said, let's see what we can work on. What is wrong with collective? What is wrong with us? Okay. What can we improve on? How can we improve? How can we be better people? How can we show up better in life? So we got yoga. Life is enhanced by yoga, stretching, and exercising. We're not stretching enough. I can tell you that, and that's probably why I am all jammed up. We're not stretching enough. Author, you have a book inside of you that wishes to be expressed. Make time to write it. We're not writing enough. This is what's wrong with us. We're not being expressive enough. We're not exercising enough, or at least we're not stretching enough. This is what's wrong with us. Music. It says your connection to music is healing for yourself and others. Let me show y'all the cards. You're not making enough music or listening to the right types of music, okay? Because I love me some Cardi B and some Megan Thee Stallion, and I love all the old school love songs and everything, but a lot of it is toxic. I've started to answer back to some of the songs, or I admit certain things. So, we're not listening to the right music. Should I take all three of these? No, I'm going to shuffle them back in. What is wrong with us, collective? Travel. Your life purpose involves traveling. You're not traveling enough. Okay? This is what's wrong with us. Nutrition. You conduct healing work with your culinary skills. You're not eating enough nutritious food, collective. And spiritual teacher, you heal with your classes, sessions, and seminars. And we're not sharing our gifts. We're not, this is what's wrong with us. This is probably why, we might find ourselves in conflict and everything. They say idle hands are the devil's playground. Like, we're not making enough music. We're not writing out our story enough. We're not sharing this with people enough. I'm here to get two more. Infinite abundance. You are fully supported as you devote yourself to your divine life purpose. We're not living in abundance enough. This is what's wrong with us, okay? What's wrong with us? What is wrong with the collective? And how can we improve? Flowers. Working with flowers opens your heart and brings blessings to others through your life purpose. So all of this feels like just improvements to what is wrong with us. Some of you may not be traveling enough. Traveling is very broadening. had a friend asking me today about my travels and what I've learned, and it's more so what I have. Because it's not so much, I guess I've learned things, but I've observed a lot of things, and I don't think I'd be who I am if I didn't go to other places and meet other people and spend some time in those places and watch how people. And what I've learned is that we are so much alike. We're so much the same. It doesn't matter if I'm in France, London, Germany, Mexico. Like, I like to be in the areas where people are living and working, because it's like, you see the kids go to school, you see their parents picking them up, you see the people grocery shopping and stuff like that, and it reminds you that, hey, all around the world we are so similar. As much as so many, especially political things, try to make it seem like we're so different, but everybody out here working, baby. Everybody out here, taking care of their family. Everyone is out here trying to live a good life and have a good experience here on earth. So I'm gonna take this more so as what can help us, but again, what is wrong with us? We're not stretching enough. Okay, we're not eating enough good foods. We're not living in the infinite abundance that is this earth and what God has to offer. And if you don't believe in God, the universe, what the universe has to offer. It's an intelligent being. If you don't believe so, then just look around. It's like all of this sprung out of the universe. And if you believe in like the Big Bang and such, like that was creation. Whether you think it's consciously or subconsciously, I think it's a little bit of both. It's like, sometimes you create things and don't want to be involved in it. Y'all figure that out. So, okay, Lord. We're not smelling enough flowers. We're not gifting people enough flowers, not giving people our flowers. People are not giving you your flowers. That is what's wrong with you, collective. And again, how can we improve? Yoga, is asking you to stretch. It's asking you to do breathing exercises. Author is asking you to, write out your story, tell your story. Music, it's asking you to look out for the music that you're listening to. Because again, I love Cardi B. Love Megan Thee Stallion, but some of the things that they talk about in their songs, like what is it? I'm a bad bitch. I did that and that's outfit on my outfit. I don't text quick because I ain't thirsty, and I have to omit these bitches mad. They want to hurt me. I hope that y'all don't want to hurt me. Ain't nothing to sing about or brag about, but again, those are the things that we need to be more aware to as we are listening to our favorite songs. Switch up the lyrics. It's like, oh my, I'm feeling high. My money's long. I'm not alone. Like, I had to switch up some lyrics to some things. So what's wrong with us is that we're listening to music that we love and by these artists that we love. However, not all of the lyrics have to resonate, or you don't have to fit it into your life to resonate. You can change those lyrics to be what it is that you want to be, or what you need to be experiencing, or manifesting. Traveling, you're not traveling enough. What's wrong with you? You're not traveling enough. Even if you just take a day trip, even if you just hop on a megabus or the Greyhound, you could be somewhere in Europe. It's a lot easier for y'all to hop on a train and go to a different country. Oh, thank you, Hey, Sharon. So travel more. That's how you can improve. Nutrition, eating better. That's how you can improve. Just start, because it's in this day and age, it's so much easier to put something in the microwave. But have a piece of fruit too. Cut up an apple, have some grapes. I know this stuff is expensive, but a banana. Get a bundle of bananas. Try to add more fresh foods to your diet. A spiritual teacher. You're being asked to teach in a way where, because you never want like someone to. You never want to try to just like, this is what you should be doing. Like, you teach by example. You teach by everyday and how you're living. If you want people to understand the abundance of God, you live in the abundance of God, the infinite abundance of the universe, of Gaia. You pick flowers, you give people flowers, you smell flowers. So yeah. Let us get some New Orleans Oracle messages. What is wrong with us, and how can we improve? Do I want to take all of this? Okay, I'm gonna take it. Speak Your Truth was in reverse, and it is like showing like the throat chakra here. So with it being in reverse, I'm taking it as maybe, not to say that you're speaking too much truth, but maybe there's some stuff that you should withhold. You're telling people too much. You're telling people too much, and I get it, because sometimes I be wanting to tell people, especially people who doubt me or people who judge me in a certain way. It's just like, well, baby, if only you knew. If only you knew, but some things you got to keep to yourself, because I do be wanting to share and how God really abundantly blesses me, like I have a very blessed life. But sometimes you can't tell everybody everything. So with Seek Your Truth in reverse, what's wrong with us is maybe we're telling people too much. Maybe we're telling people to just, those little things and it's not that, you're just expecting people to be jealous, because, God loves me and stuff like that. God loves us all, but, some of us are really abundantly blessed in certain ways that, if you tell other people, they'll be jealous. Okay, so watch what you're speaking, watch what you are saying to people or who you're telling what to, okay? What's wrong with us? We need more peace in our life. Be peace, be surrounded by peace, and I see awakening. So we need to, what is wrong with us is all these awakenings that were happening, right? I'm not being told to read from the book, but I am going to pull some tarot cards. So what is wrong with you, collective? What is wrong with you? Sometimes with the 501s, you will involve yourself in petty squabbles, okay? That's what's wrong with you. And the Fool card indicates in reverse that it's hard to free yourself from that, from drama. Sometimes you can involve yourself in drama by just being an onlooker to drama. Some of us like the reality shows. There's nothing wrong with anything that you like, but we do have to be careful with what we're consuming. And, what's wrong with you is you need a little bit more peace in your life. You need to surrender to an awakening. But I keep on hearing that we're having too many awakenings. That's what's wrong with us, collective. Because those awakenings can isolate us from the world. Sometimes I just want to be a part of the world. And then you realize, no, I don't want to be a part of what y'all got going on. You see, y'all got a lot going on. But however, like with all the awakenings, it does distance you sometimes from people again. With Speak Your Truth coming out in reverse, like what's wrong with us is that maybe we're speaking too much of our truth. We're telling people, too much of what we got going on. What's wrong with you is that you're stable. You're financially stable. Like you're mentally stable. Like this is energetically stable. You're rooted. Now, does not mean that you have $1 million, but you got stability. Thank you. You got stability, So what's wrong with us? What is wrong with us and how can we improve? 4 Cups in reverse. Page of Cups in reverse. What's wrong with us is that we're not. So I talked about this in the other live reading that I did, where Page of Cups in reverse indicates that there's some inner child healing that needs to be done, involving our emotions. Maybe we are not, with that throat chakra and that Speak Your Truth in reverse, we aren't, being completely honest with how we feel. Okay? So you may be telling people too much about what's going on in your life and not enough about how you feel. Okay? Let's see. I got Judgment in reverse at the bottom of the deck. So what is wrong with us? Like sometimes we hold back our judgment, or some of us have really harsh judgments about people. Yeah, there's a judgment again. And it was just that. Some of us have really harsh judgments about others. And maybe because you have harsh judgments about yourself, A lot of times you're not dishing it out if you're not dishing it to yourself or holding it to yourself. So what's wrong with you? You judge yourself too harshly. Therefore, you judge other people too harshly. 6 of Pentacles in reverse and 8 of Cups. This is saying that you can be prideful when it comes to accepting help. So what's wrong with you, collective? You're prideful when it comes to accepting help. You know, people can offer you help, and like you won't take it until like they offer it like the fifth time. Like I've started being like, okay, yeah, girl. Like my friend today, she was like, yeah, no, because I bought some. It was an exchange of money because I was like, I ain't got my card on me, but I want some hot wings. So she paid for the hot wings, and I was like, oh, let me cash up you the 40. And she was like, no, you just get me later. I was like, no, girl, you sure? And she's like, no, get me later. Great, I will. So, what's wrong with us, collective? Is sometimes we're too prideful when it comes to people offering us help, to us receiving, you know. What is wrong with the collective? What is wrong with us? Two of Cups in reverse. Again, not being able to offer, I said offer help. Sometimes what's wrong with us is we refuse to offer help. Fool card. This is, okay, yeah. This is seeing someone struggling. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So what's wrong with us is sometimes we don't involve ourselves, especially if we've had a falling out with a person. Sometimes we don't involve ourselves with someone who needs help. Here's the Strength card in reverse and the King of Pentacles in reverse. It's like withdrawing your energy completely. This does not have to be, you going to go physically help someone, but you can. This is what's wrong with us. Maybe, again, it goes with that harsh judgment, It's like you can mistakenly send bad energy to people. Because someone could have done us wrong in the past. This looks like you freed yourself from someone that's done you wrong in the past, or a broken contract here. But because of it, it's just like you don't even offer, like, well wishes to them. So what's wrong with you is just, you're holding yourself up with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse in a cycle by not wishing well on someone that maybe has done you wrong, okay? Yeah, Ace of Pentacles. Just wish them well. I wish you well. I think sometimes we become bitter if, like, say, it didn't work out. It didn't have to be necessarily cheating. It didn't work out with a person, and go get with another person. Like, if anything, especially if I really like that person, I thought they were a great person, I hope that this next person treats them well. And, if I'm not the one that they're going to marry or they're going to be with forever, I pray that whoever they're going to be with, they treat well and treats them well, Yeah, Wheel of Fortune reverse. What's wrong with us? We're holding up some transformations here. We're holding up like our cycle. Hermit card. What's going on with this Hermit card? What is wrong with us? Queen of Swords in reverse. And Ace of Cups. What is wrong with us? What is wrong with the collective? This looks like, again, there's something here about, like, being held up by, like, a cycle. This could also be a job or a contract, or like someone that you were in partnership with and it didn't work out, and so now that it's kind of like you're alone, or like you've gone like your separate ways, there's something here that you want to say. And it's like with the Ace of Cups, this is what's wrong with us, or what's wrong with the collective, is like you're not saying what is going to, like, free you emotionally here. Yeah, the Devil card in reverse. There's something here that you're being held up with, collective. What is wrong with the collective? The King of Wands. Nine of Wands. And the Devil. When you get confident, you get cocky. And when you get cocky, you reveal too much. You open up too much. You tell too much. Okay? That's okay, baby. So again, when you get cocky with the King of Wands, you just reveal too much. Again, we had the Speak Your Truth in reverse, where it was saying that, you could reveal a little bit too much to people. And the Devil card, those are people who are jealous. Those are people who do not wish you well. Okay? Two of Wands. What is wrong with the collective? All right, so you'll put in a lot of planning for something, you'll put in a lot of effort for something and start to like execute it and then immediately get worried about it. So what's wrong with your collective? Anxiety. Anxiety. I'm seeing you still doing it, but you're anxious about it. You're like, oh man, what if this doesn't work out? As you're still doing these things. So it's saying, what's wrong with you? You just when you're doing something, or you put in the proper planning. This is execution. It's like the whole way. You're like, oh man, is that gonna work out? This also feels like psychic attacks. This also feels like, again, speaking too much, revealing too much. Nine of Wands in reverse, Four of Pentacles in reverse. And again, those people who don't wish you well, start sending that energy that your way. And I don't expect a lot of people to be able to take this. I don't think I'm saying anything that's harsh, but you go where you need to go to get the information that you need. Sometimes I need to know what the hell is wrong with me, because like we can be affirmed all we want and say, oh yeah, you were right in that situation or whatever the case may be, but maybe you did do a little something that caused the situation that could have went a little bit better, for you and another person. So again, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. But what's wrong with your collective is sometimes you speak too much about what's going on, in your life. You're not speaking up enough about how you're feeling, though. I'm seeing you just isolate without letting people know, oh, okay, yeah, this is, I felt disrespected, or, even being honest about certain feelings, because I think when we are dating or we have dated someone or whatever the case may be, we can be very angry, and again, sending kind of bad energy by being like, oh, I hope, they don't know what they was missing out on, and I hope that, the next relationship. No, sometimes it don't even have to be that. I love that person, and I give that person my best, and obviously, because you don't want to, it's not that it wasn't enough. Some people just are not compatible, or some people are just not ready to receive a type of love, okay? So what is wrong with us is that we have to make better decisions or faster decisions when it comes to being in situations. Oop, let me cover that up. Here with the Devil card, make better decisions about who we are revealing certain things in our life, like details about our lives, like how much your rent is, how much you get paid, how your boss may treat you, but it's okay to tell people, oh, I love my life, I think that God blesses me and I'm very happy. Or again, if you have people in your life that you want to tell that you love, or that, because I don't know if I would necessarily let people know, oh, I don't like this about you. It's more so like, hey, I don't think that you deserve like my attitude towards you, or I don't think that you deserve to be yelled at because I'm frustrated, because I think that there's some people, I do think that you can have better communication, but it's less that you're a bad person, because I think your communication can be better, and more so you don't deserve to be treated wrong, because I think that you can be better at communicating. So Ace of Wands in reverse and the Tower in reverse. There was something here about like ignoring certain problems here, and I get it, not wanting to get involved, but I'm seeing that collective, you're ignoring maybe someone that may be important to you and their problems. Some of us can have friends who have like who go through things over and over again, to where you're blue in the face talking about it. It's okay to set boundaries, but if you are showing up as a friend, maybe what's wrong with you is sometimes you ignore the people who are important to you. You have the Sun card in reverse, and maybe these people give you anxiety. Emperor. But I'm seeing that you are a leader, or at least people look up to you. Your friends look up to you. Your family members look up to you. Yeah, and the Lovers. And so like that does you do have a different responsibility in a friendship or in relationships when people do look up to you. Not to say that you have like a whole responsibility to people's actions, but it's important for you to speak up or tell people how you feel. Like, again, I had to tell my friend today, look, I don't want to hear his name again because of, we talked about, what we just went through with a certain something, and that's not me abandoning her and what she got going on, but we know, like, girl. So instead of me ignoring her and being like, oh, she gonna talk about him again, I'm just going ahead and setting a boundary. It's like, girl, I love you. However, I don't think that this situation is for you, but you're going to do what it is that you're going to do. No, I mean, sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes, like, people need to hear it. And, like, you learn to navigate it because, like, some people can't hear certain things. And then that's when you got to decide, okay, well, it's just someone who can continue to be a friend of mine. This person can't take when I'm letting them know, especially with kindness and love, that hey, that person's not for you. Like, I witnessed like all this abuse that you did to each other, and it's not healthy. So let's not talk about them anymore, because I don't, especially if you no longer have anything positive to say about it. Like, girl, I'm not gonna hype you up to go and talk to your ex when I know that y'all were both abusive to each other. No. And especially if you wasn't abusive to them and they were abusive to you, no, I'm not happy that y'all are continuing to talk after we've had these conversations already. And I would set that boundary. What's wrong with you is that you don't leave, death card, when it's time. You be knowing, or you don't set those proper boundaries. Star card in reverse, when it's time. Okay? Because my star card talks about like being somewhere that you want to be, you wish for. And then this is a sense of no longer wanting to be there. So, collective. Like I said, this wasn't going to be very long. Let's see now. How can we improve? What can we do? I'm going to use True Heart. I'm going to use True Heart. We can put these away. How can we improve? What can we do to be better or to do better? Moon card. So a lot of people see the moon and think about like mystery. I see cycles. We know that the moon goes through different cycles. And it's important to learn those cycles, because if we don't know those cycles, then we're surprised. We're shocked by it going through cycles. Because I think about primitive humans and like looking at the moon in the sky and it's changing the shapes, and sometimes it's not there, the new moon and such like that. But if you actually pay attention, it goes through different phases. We also go through different phases. We go through different phases in our life. We go through different phases with people, and it's important to pay attention to our phases, pay attention to the cycles that we're in, especially if you're going around and around in a cycle with a person or place or thing, and you're noticing, in these cycles, I'm making the same decisions or I'm doing the same things, especially if we want things to change. So it's important for us to improve in order for us to be a little bit better and a little bit more well-rounded, for us to pay attention to the cycles and our cycles. How can we improve with the temperance in reverse? The temperance in reverse is just saying that because you don't know what's going to happen. And oftentimes it's not necessarily what's going to happen with us, but what's going to happen with other people. Sometimes it's out of your control, and people, have free will. So when you understand, okay, people are going to do what they're going to do, but that's why it's important to pay attention to people's cycles, pay attention to people and how they react towards certain things, how are they in joy, how are they in loss and pain, how are they in betrayal, how are they, when something happens, how are they when they're breaking up, how are they when they're getting with someone. And that's going to determine whether or not they can show up for you, or what type of friend they're going to be, or what type of person they are, and how you can either show up or not show up. So it's like temperance in reverse just talks about not being at peace because you don't know what's going to happen. So how you can improve is just, again, learning cycles, understanding that everything has a cycle, everything, we pay attention to patterns, it's much easier for you to predict what's going to happen when you do certain things. Because, like, you can work on yourself all you want to in therapy and learn languages to express yourself, but unless those people that you're expressing yourself to or trying to get along with also have those languages, or also are working on themselves, or again, just depending on people's cycles and depending on people's patterns, you can determine whether or not, like, it's worth it continuing on with trying, like, different conversations, or trying a relationship, or staying in a place. How can we improve? Sun card talks about feeling fulfilled and being more fulfilled, because I think we think of fulfillment as like doing a thing and then gaining some type of fulfillment, but fulfillment comes from within you. Fulfillment is being content with who you are and where you are in life. And then also, because you have paid attention to your cycles, you know what you've been through, you know what you have overcome. Again, what was wrong with us is that we would make a plan and execute the plan, and then worry throughout, have anxieties throughout the whole plan. And that's something that Ten of Swords saying, okay, that needs to end, because, like, once you set your sights to something, especially if you know who you are, again, know your cycles, you know what you have overcome, you know your accolades, you know how much work you put into things. You can be at peace with the temperance. You can be at peace because you know what's going to happen. And I think a lot of it is because a lot of us are not already feeling fulfilled. You have to already feel fulfilled. Like, success has nothing to do with, like, monetary gain, or like things that are going on the outside. Like, that can be indications of success, but success is how you feel about the work that you're putting into things. The work that you're producing, what you're producing. We got the Three of Swords. This is how we can improve. What is it about the Three of Swords? Prince of this, Five of this, and then Nine of this. So, oftentimes when we do have a breakup, oftentimes when something comes to break our hearts, or like there's a backstabbing, or something happens to where it hurts. It hurts. Prince of this talks about, because all these cards came out as pentacles, so this talks about manifestations, things happening on the material plane. Oftentimes what comes with, like, these betrayals is opportunities, or, like, especially when it's betrayal and you have to cut someone off, or cut, like, something out of your life. What fills that space is something that you've been trying to manifest. And with the Five of Pentacles, this talks about, because sometimes we do dwell on the things that didn't work out, or the people that didn't work out and such, and not realize that didn't work out, so that you can make space for something that you've been manifesting. And I tell people, look, when things drop out of your life, or things don't work out, you have to really examine about what it is that you have wanted, because sometimes what we want, we can't take certain people, we can't take certain behaviors, we can't stay in certain places in order for us to really fulfill what it is that we're manifesting. So this is talking about holding on to things, or even wanting to be recognized for, like, say you break up, and so this is you wanting to be recognized for all the things that you did in that relationship, which is fine, it's valid, but we're not recognizing what is coming in. So how we can improve is, like, just to recognize that, okay, yeah, this hurts, it sucks, but it freed up space for something to happen a lot faster for me. And then with the Nine of Pentacles, this is saying that, this is you, again, feeling fulfilled and enjoying that. Nine of Pentacles literally is you accomplished some things, and now you are enjoying the fruits of your labor. And there, it seems like maybe some things that hold us back, that we don't really recognize that was holding us back, that when it does leave our lives, Three of Swords, it hurts. I get that. Yeah, Justice. How can we improve? Justice. Strength card. Again, I just picked up this Three of Swords again. And the Emperor. Okay, so when you choose a certain journey, the Seven of Wands, that's your challenge. Just talking about, again, sometimes we get hurt and then we fire out what we feel. Oh, that motherfucker. And, I wish that, I hope that, and even if you don't really fully conceive the thought, like our jealousy of like when our partner or our ex-partners or people move on, that is like conceiving those type of thoughts where it's like you're being defensive, or you're just not really wishing them well. You're not being like, okay, you know what, they found another person, that's cool. Like, I wish it was me, because that's part of being honest. But it's not, and that's fine. So the Justice would be like the Strength card in reverse, is just learning to wish people well. Instead of wasting your energy about, oh, they did this to me, and so, no, sometimes it's like, I just wish them well. Like, I don't want to have nothing to do with them, especially if it's a heartbreak. If I don't want to have nothing to do with anybody that broke my heart, Um, Emperor. Like, with the Emperor, you are seen as a leader. You are seen as someone who is wise, and sometimes when you choose a journey, it's like you do have people who are learning from you. So it's like being careful about what you do say about the people that you chose to be with in the past. Or people that you chose to be friends with. Yeah, the Three of this. There's the Three of this in reverse, and the Queen of Pentacles. And so yeah, I'm getting all these like major. They're not major arcana, but they're major cards. They're court cards, and I'm getting them in reverse, just saying that you have a power and a certain responsibility with that power, to not necessarily lead, but to lead by example. And again, this would be not bad mouthing like people who don't agree with you, or who broke your heart, or who, like, you can be honest about it. They ain't that hurt when they betrayed me. Like, I was betrayed, but to be like, oh, they ugly, they stink. Like, I see people like go off on people, especially like physical appearances, when like something doesn't work out, or they don't like somebody, and it's just like, well, that's not fair. That's not cool. And feel how you want, but if you want to improve, and especially like improve like your manifestations and improve your life and just the whole overall well-being of your life, these are things to take into account, to be considerate about. Okay, just how we're thinking about people, or how we are reacting to the things that happen to us when people do things. People are going to do things. I want to get some chakra colors for you guys to wear on your journey as you are improving and, healing what is quote unquote wrong with you. Acceptance. We got red. So wearing reds, because this is a root chakra type thing. Again, when we are betrayed or we are let down, that can make us feel unstable. It can make us feel, because root chakra is like security, loss of security here. Recovery. So we're purples, reds, and abundance. Yellow. Purple, red, yellow. Facade. Okay, so some of you may be not admitting how you feel. I can tell you that there are people that I miss. I probably am not going to reach out to them because of how they treated me, but I can admit that I miss them. And that's okay, because this is like over the Emperor also. It's just like, kind of being honest about that. Because again, I saw with the throat chakra and Speak Your Truth that you were telling people a lot about like the details of your life and how God is blessing you, and not how you're feeling about certain things and certain people. So you'll find more abundance when you accept certain things for what they are, and instead of putting up a front about like how you're feeling about somebody, it's like, it's okay to be like, you know what, I didn't like the way those people treated me, but I wish them well. Or, that really hurt when they did that, and that could be it. It could be nothing else. You can not be like, well, that low down motherfucker, and da da da, like cussing people out in your head. Like sometimes it's not worth it. Recovery. I mean, it's just to improve. Like you do what you want to do. Faith. Have faith. You know, because anything. So wear purples, reds, and yellows, y'all. As anything that anyone has done to you, um, you know, any injustices, like best believe people will get their karma. You know, like I say, lately I've been wishing like karma on some people who I feel like, yeah, you really deserve that, like child molesters. Like God, strike them down as soon as they touch a child. They should just die. That's not up for me, I guess, to judge, and that's something I got to talk to the Lord about. But wear purples, yellows, and reds as we are trying to improve. But I'm gonna get out of here, y'all, because like I said, shout out to the readers that can be on here and reading for hours, and they do this daily. This baby, this wears me out. So thank y'all for tuning in. Let me know in the comments how that resonated, and I will catch y'all later.